Good afternoon, YouTube family. Martinez Country Home here. Today's Thursday, May the 5th, 2022. Guys, what I wanted to talk about today was, of course, we all know that food's very high, the food prices, and we're hearing about um, shortages, potential shortages, and stuff like that. Yesterday, I saw a really good video from Ice Age Farmer, and he was talking about how um, a lot of herds are being culled. I know I've mentioned this before. Chickens, turkeys, hog farms, they're being made to destroy their herds because of some illness that they have or that's been discovered among their number. And so when you look at the fires that have been happening with these food processing plants and farmers being paid not to grow their crops. When you look at the big picture, and we've discussed this before, guys. I know we've discussed this before, but I always ask myself, why is this being done? Now, if it's being done by the elites or by the ruling class, whatever you want to call them, I'm sure that they eat too. So they have to eat too. So either they have everything they need, or they have places where they will be getting their food. They might have their own farms, their own dairy farms, their own chicken farms, whatever, where they get their own food. No telling, this world is big. They might have their own food supply, because it looks like the not just in America, but the world food supply is basically being dismantled. But it is especially evident here in America. And so the reason that I'm making this video today is because, even though, not to beat a dead horse, right? But stories keep coming out of that are showing the effects of all these different policies that are happening. The weather, gas prices are up, diesel, energy prices are up. So all of these things are showing up in the price of food and the availability of food. So yesterday I was talking to my wife, and she works for one of the local school districts, and she was telling me how so when the pandemic started, basically the school district that is in our area, the entire school district was getting free lunch. Okay, we're not gonna get into the argument of should they get free lunch, and is it our responsibility, as taxpayers, whatever. At this point, it's kind of irrelevant, because honestly, guys, I'm sure y'all know that our taxes don't really pay for anything. Our taxes are there to support the bureaucracy, pretty much, and they're just there. Taxes are just basically there to keep us under control, and to just loot our energy and the sweat of our brow. Okay, so anyway, so since COVID, the health crisis, because of the health crisis, some school districts, including the one in our area, was giving free lunch to the entire school, no matter if, like, say in the past you would have had to pay reduced or full price for your lunch and breakfast or whatever. And this mainly happened, I believe, in the inner city school districts and stuff. But this year, this coming school year, the next school year, which is 22 to 23, the schools are not going to be giving any more free lunch. From what I understand, the children that still fall under the category or under that threshold of income, they will still receive free lunch. But other than that, everybody else is going to have to pay. And so my wife's telling me how she sees kids, like, throwing their lunch, they don't even eat it. And it's not that great to begin with, but the point is that they're throwing away food. And uh I believe because it has something to do with the availability of the food, right? Food's getting expensive, and it's getting more expensive even for schools, even though they're funded by the government. And basically they're funded by the government and stuff like that. um, they're they're starting to see some of the effects. Okay. um, then yesterday, by coincidence, I saw a story from our local news of our food banks here in this city, San Antonio, that they showed that the food bank was basically, empty. I don't think it was totally empty, but empty. But the picture that they showed, that picture of the warehouse, everything was gone. I mean, there was nothing in there. Now, I've seen some of the food that they pass out sometimes. Guys, sometimes it's not very good quality. uh, Now, canned goods, they last a long time, so I don't really pay much attention to the canned goods unless they're dented or like they're really badly damaged. I know they have a very long shelf life, as long as they've been kept cool or not been out in the sun, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And in basically ideal conditions. But for the most part, the food that I've seen in different food banks, and I don't go to the food banks, um, but some of the organizations that they do come where I've worked at before, and I've seen them. I've seen the food that they pass out, and some of it is pretty good. Some of the canned goods are pretty good, but a lot of times the produce is very bad condition. Um, some of the meats, when they do have meat, which is very rare, um, it's not very healthy. Okay, but when you're hungry and when you're starving, your body's gonna take that nourishment, and it's gonna pretty much override the bad the bad the bad things that it can do to your body. I mean, just because you're so hungry or whatever. But the point is that we're starting to see um, different signs of this food shortage that is happening. The high prices. I went to the groceries the other day, and like I said, we normally don't have a grocery day, not like we used to. Excuse me. Whew. Excuse me. We normally hit the grocery store as we need, and it's usually for like staple items, like maybe some milk or bread, shredded cheese, whatever. Little things like that. For the most part, we don't really have big grocery days. We what we do have is what I like to do is basically, I mean, everything is with preparations, with preparedness in mind. I like to buy canned goods, and therefore, they do go into our pantry. We also have canned goods that go into our pantry, our working pantry. Um, our working pantry probably has about, I would say, a week, but it probably has a little bit more than that. If we had to tighten our belts a little bit, we could make it last more than a week. I think. It our working pantry is what we use during the regular use is pretty full, but we normally don't have like what you call a grocery day. We used to do that, but once all this started happening with especially with the health crisis, our shopping habits kind of changed. We would go grocery shopping as like maybe like once a week, maybe, or once every couple of weeks. We would have a grocery day where we would go and come out with a full cart like for the week or whatever. We don't do that anymore because we've been preparing, and as we prepare and we buy things for our for our house, for emergency or whatever. We just put them in place. We put we rotate the stuff into our pantry. um, we have two different shelves that we rotate from our pantry, um, from our from our oldest, it rotates into the pantry, and our newest stuff goes in a certain shelf or whatever. We kind of have a little system like that. It's rough, but that's basically the way it goes. So anyway, so our 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 shopping habits have changed. So anyway, what I was gonna I got all off tangent there, but so I went to the grocery store, and like I said, normally I don't go for a lot of stuff. Even if I go for a couple of things for work, if I need, I might have something here at work. I'll also pick up a couple of things for the for the pet. You know what I mean? Not a lot, maybe 3 or 4 cans that I'll put. But the main thing that I noticed, guys, that really went up in price a lot was the eggs. The eggs went up a lot. The slat of eggs of 18, that used to be like 3 something, and that was like when it was kind of high to me. It was like, man, that's pretty high. $3, 3 and change. It is now like $8 and change. The box of 60, the big box, at least where the main grocery store. I haven't seen how much it is at Sam's, but at our local grocery store, which is HEB, it's gone up to it's like almost $17, which is crazy. I mean, that's mind-boggling. Even the milk, excuse me, we used to get it for like $2.38, and it's way over $3. The regular milk, the full, the whole milk. That's what I was looking at. Whole. That's the term I was looking for. Anyway, guys, I don't know what's going on. If you were to ask me, the most wild speculation that I could come up with, the way it looks to me, it looks like we're destroying our own. We're letting our own food supply be destroyed and be cut down. I would suggest, guys, what I've been doing for years is I've been buying heirloom seeds. I know how to plant a garden. I've done it before, and with God's blessing, I've been able to grow. Usually, whatever I plant, it does grow. I've grown watermelon, cantaloupe. I've grown tomatoes, green beans, peas. It's grown for me. Right now, we do not have a garden, but I would suggest, guys, and I know you've heard this from other channels, other content creators, but I would seriously consider not just buying, your seeds and stock up on fertilizer. Oh, before I forget, I have a goat. I think I've mentioned her before. She like almost killed our trees again. She had, a couple of weeks ago, she chomped down our avocado trees and a peach tree we had. So I had been starting a compost pile, and there was still some leaves on those trees that were left, and so they were alive. But I was like, man, you know what? It was taking long, to recover, right? And Sunday, I went ahead and I threw some of that compost that I had started, and it was pretty. It had already started to turn, to degenerate into the compost. But anyway, I put it on those trees. Man, the next day I woke up in the morning, go to work just to check on them, water them, and they had already sprouted leaves, guys. So if y'all can start a compost pile, it is so easy to start, so easy, and you won't have to be depending on fertilizer. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm sure there's channels out there that have how to make compost, but if I can, I'll leave one in the links, in the description. I'll leave any links for this video in the description. Okay. So anyway, guys, I just basically this video, what I wanted to tell y'all was to please start prepping for your own food. And we've been saying that, of course, but the vegetables and the fruits is gonna keep you healthy, guys, because the food out there, it is so toxic. They've really ruined our food supply. And I know that, it's a modern marvel and all that, and it's helped us to, convenience, and you know, it's packaged for us and all that, but so much of it is so bad for us. We're gonna need fresh vegetables. We're gonna need fresh fruit to not just survive, but to be healthy. Okay, that's very important, especially when you get to be my age. You start really understanding how important it is to have a healthy diet, an alkali diet, to have greens. Certain, you know, they're so high in, you know, antioxidant. Okay, they're so alkali, these fruits and vegetables. Our body needs them, guys. They really do. um so, you know, being healthy is a form of rebellion, guys. Okay, if you're not healthy, and you're fighting sickness and all that, you can't focus on anything else. You're basically just fighting to stay alive, and that's no way to live. Okay, you want to live, not just exist to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, y'all take care of each other and love each other out there, because that's what we're here for. God bless.